Coming up, this National Democratic Congress, the NDC, calls for emergency IPAC meeting to discuss raging issues of 5 missing EC laptops and shortage of biometric verification devices ahead of election 2024. Also, price of petrol, diesel already up barely 24 hours after the reversal of the suspension of the price stabilisation and recovery levy on petroleum products, among a raft of new measures. We'll hear from the LPG Marketers Association, which is ready to pass on the increment. Meanwhile, the minority in Parliament say the decision to set a floor limit for petroleum product will hurt the consumers, describing it as unfortunate. Now, starting today, consumers should prepare to pay more for petrol, diesel and liquefied petroleum gas, barely 24 hours after the reversal of the suspension of the price stabilisation and recovery levy on petroleum product, among a raft of new measures. The National Petroleum Authority, in a letter on March 28, 2024, announced the suspension of the price stabilisation and recovery levy on price build-up on petroleum product. This froze the implementation of the levy charged on every litre of petroleum product and kilogram of LPG from Monday, April 1 to June 30, 2024. This directive has now been reversed. At the fuel pumps, some oil marketing companies have already adjusted their prices upwards, leaving people enraged about the situation. The authority also announced price floors for the downstream petroleum sector. The African Centre for Energy Policy, ACEP, says the recent decision to establish a floor for the pricing of petroleum product is illegal and falls beyond the purview of the MPA's mandate. Let's speak now, with the Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi. Thanks for joining us, sir. Now, so how much higher will the reversal of the MPA directive push prices of liquefied petroleum products?
Well, basically, the reversal on LPG is about 14 pesos. But in the case of LPG, it goes beyond the 14 pesos because there has been a levy of about $80 per ton on LPG, which translates to about 1 cedi 20 pesos on every kilo of LPG. So with LPG, we have that 1 cedi 20 pesos plus the 14 pesos, which adds up to about 1 cedi 34 pesos that will be added. But, unfortunately, for the past two weeks, the city has also not been doing too well. So already without the application of these levies, prices of LPG was going to go up by about 1 cedi, moving from about 14 cities the previous window to about 15 cities. So with the application, with the reversal of this stabilization levy, and then the new levy that has been slapped on LPG, LPG prices are going to go up by about 2 cities, 30 pesos, and it's going to move from about 14 cities to about 16 cities, 20 pesos.
Wow. Was there not that consultation with you, the stakeholders, to understand or to probably gauge the impact of that decision on the price or on the market?
I mean, this is being done by MPA. I mean, they are the regulators. Yeah. And they have come up with this levies. Indeed, those two levies are new levies that is MPA wants to use to support the implementation of the cylinder recirculation model. And those are the levies that are going to be used to support bottling plants to build bottling plants, and then BVDs to build bottling plants, and then to procure cylinders for the cylinder recirculation model. But we have questioned how MPA should levy Ghanaians, why Ghanaians should pay, should be levied, and for that levy or for that fund to be used to support individual companies or BDCs to put up bottling plants. I mean, the legality of that may have to be tested. But for now, that is the situation. The LPG is going to move from 14 cities to about 16 cities, 20%.
Interesting.
And that translates to your ordinary 14.5 kg, that the household one. It's going to move from about 220 cities to about 250 cities.
Wow.
And that obviously is beyond the reach of the ordinary Ghanaian.
Interesting.
And indeed, this is the product that government has set objective to increase its consumption. But there's no way you can improve the consumption of LPG by continuously trying to pile taxes and levies on the product.
Okay.
We rather expect that government will act in a way that will go to reduce the pump price of the product to attract more consumers into the consumption net, so we can achieve government objective.
Okay.
But we see government acting contrary to its own objective.
How soon will should consumers expect the new prices to take effect?
It's already taken effect. The new prices took effect on Tuesday. That is the 2nd of April. And you know, the price stabilization levy of 14 pesos was removed on the 28th of March. But just this morning, MPA has come back to say that we should apply that. So the price build-up that we put out on Tuesday, this morning we had to review it and add that 14 pesos to it. And that has really shot up the pump price of LPG.
So, I mean, but what was the explanation given for the reintroduction of the 14 pesos?
No explanation has been given so far. We only wake up this morning, received a letter from MPA that we should go back and reapply the 14 pesos. Okay. We thought that was done on the 28th of March to at least give consumers some respite. Looking at for the past 2 weeks, our city has also not performed too well. Okay. And prices was going to go up. So we thought that was to cushion consumers a little bit. But that was removed, and when the cylinder investment margin was introduced on the 2nd of April, 2 days after, the price stabilization levy has been slapped again. So we are really confused. We don't know what is happening. We don't know how we can improve the consumption of LPG with this attitude of government and MPA.
We understand that you are putting up a petition to be presented to the MPA. Why that?
Exactly the case. We are putting up a petition to MPA and to everybody that matters in this country to consider removing this immediately and take measures to reduce the price of LPG so that we can achieve government objective. Since 2021, consumption of LPG has taken a nosedive, and this is a product government wants to increase its consumption. Okay. Government has a target to increase consumption of LPG from 25% penetration level in 2020 to 30% to 50% by the year 2030. But we see government acting contrary to its own objective. You can't eat your cake and have it. You can't set such a laudable objective and you go behind and increase the price of the product through slapping of taxes and levies. Okay. There's the only singular reason that can be attributed to the decline in the consumption of LPG, the fact that the pump price has gone so high. Okay. LPG is the product with elastic demand. Any peso that you put on the product goes a long way to reduce its consumption. Okay.
All right. Now, finally, and do that for me in 30 seconds, what specifically is your petition looking for? What are you asking government to take away from the price buildup?
I mean, if you have been following the LPG Marketing Companies Association of Ghana, we consistently have been asking government to even take out all taxes on LPG because we believe LPG must be made tax-free. Okay. If you look at our neighboring countries like Cote d'Ivoire, they are indeed subsidizing LPG. But in Ghana, we moved from subsidy to full cost recovery, and then we have slapped a lot of taxes on the product. And now we are even adding salt to injury. So we are going to petition MPA to immediately remove the tax which has been introduced and take measure to even remove the existing taxes that have been on the product. If government is really serious at achieving an improvement in the consumption of LPG in Ghana. Okay,
all right. Grateful to you. Gabriel Kumi is the Vice Chair of the LPG Marketers Association of Ghana. Now, away from that to other stories, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, is tonight calling for an emergency Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting to address some concerns with the Electoral Commission. The party says it is raising concerns over some missing laptops and the shortage of verification machines, which they said could affect the 2024 general election. This is not the first time the opposition is raising the concern, because the minority a few weeks ago demanded a police investigation into 7 missing biometric verification machines. But the EC, at a press conference, dispelled the assertions, saying no BVD was missing. Now, let's try and give you some details here from the statement. Now, it says the attention of the NDC has been drawn to the following unfortunate occurrence at the Commission. 1, shortage of biometric verification devices, BVDs. 2, missing of one component of biometric verification registration kits. 5, laptops. That's what the party is saying. Okay, so if you look at it, now it continues to say that leadership, members, supporters, and sympathizers of the NDC are worried about the situation. They again say, we believe that these unfortunate incidents pose a serious threat to free, fair, and transparent elections in the upcoming 2024 elections. That's what they're saying. They continue to say that additionally, per your calendar, you were supposed to call an IPAC meeting on March 27, 2024. But this did not happen. The NDC therefore wishes to request for an emergency IPAC meeting to enable all parties discuss these crucial issues. That's what the party is asking for. Now, it concludes by saying that Committee, Dr. Nana Yao, a UFRE, is demanding an immediate intervention for the grant of waiver to enable authorities at the Komfo Teaching Hospital clear consignment at the port. The goods made up of tiles meant for the renovation of old blocks are currently under demurrage as a result of delay in payment of the duties. Attempt by the facility to get government-approved a waiver has also not received the necessary attention. Commenting on the issue, Chairman of Parliament's Health Committee, Dr. Nana UFRE, said the waiver is long overdue, hence must be approved due to its critical nature.
Waiver is supposed to be given by Parliament. Tax waivers by Parliament, by Finance Committee. We've demonized waivers to look like giving waivers is so evil. Waivers is more of like telling government to go and pay for. But then government is supposed to go and do 2 million to pay itself. And government is saying that grant them waiver. If I take the taxpayers 2 million to go and pay to clear goods for Komfo, I'm taking it from the taxpayers' money. If I had 10 million, I've taken 2 million to pay for Komfo. You understand? At the same time, let me give waiver so that I can still hold to my 10 million. The opposition has made, and the society has made people to think like waiver giving is evil. Now, government institutions that must be able to get waiver. The posture of the Finance Committee in Parliament is more of, we are hostile to waivers.
Now that the situation has been drawn to your attention, what do you intend to do? Because Komfo is not only for the Ashanti region.
The onus is not on the Finance Minister, the onus is on Parliament.
Has it been drawn to your attention in Parliament?
Absolutely. This issue is there, and we have to be able to grant them waivers.
How long has it been there?
When we come to Parliament to do emergency sessions, we just have to grant them waiver.
So they are raising against time.
We have to demonize waivers. Waivers, we are positive and good, especially when it's going to save the taxpayer. Your own money that you are going to dole into something. If waivers is going to save you from your own money and just put that cost as neutralized, then what is wrong with it? So we need to stop this attitude.
Calling for an immediate granting of waiver for this project?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is common sense. I don't have to say it. We have to. Yes, we have to.
Now, relatedly, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana is alarmed by the shortage of pharmacists in the 5 regions of the north. Now, according to the society, the situation is stampeding the progress of healthcare delivery. Hence, must be prioritized and addressed. President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Dr. Samuel Donko, raised these concerns when flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, met the society on his bold solutions for the future engagement.
That in the past 3 years, the government has not employed pharmacists into the public sector. And that has not happened because of financial clearance issues. If you are producing pharmacists every year from the various universities, and yet the government is not employing the pharmacists. These at the same time we have, when you go to the various hospitals across the country, go to the northern zone of Ghana, all the northern regions put together, the upper west, upper east, there is a manpower shortage or there's shortage of pharmacists in various hospitals and clinics around. And that's why we raise the issue that this is an issue that can be tackled. We need a financial clearance for many more pharmacists to be employed into the public sector.
But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says the demands by the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana aligns with his policy directions and assures to transform the sector if elected as president.
Ghana has a comparative advantage in the whole of the sub-region in the pharmaceutical sector. We do. There's no doubt about it. Ghana has a comparative advantage, and therefore we should be. If we want to be the pharmaceutical hub, which I want us to be, then we have to put our money where our mouth is, to support local manufacturing. Without that support, we are not going to make it. The good thing about the pharmaceutical industry is that the demand for the products is there. 70% of our needs are imported. So the demand is there. So funding this is not something that you're going to fund and then you are losing money, because there is a demand for the product. And so we are going to really, I'm very supportive, whether it's through EXIM or another vehicle. I think if once we have made the decision, and it will come in my manifesto, by the way, that we are going to make Ghana a pharmaceutical hub, but you cannot do it without funding. It's the same way that I want to establish a minerals development bank for the miners, because we can be, the major, mining hub in Ghana, especially for the small scale miners, with some support. But we need a financial institution that understands the business of mining to support them with machinery and so on. But so for me, I believe that once we have made the decision, which I've made, that we are going to make Ghana a hub for manufacturing in this sub-region, then you have to support it with the financial resources. And I think the gain from that would be huge for Ghana. And I think we should do it because we have a comparative advantage.
This is still the JoyNews Prime. We'll take a very quick break. When we return, we have more stories for you here. Please stay with us. Don't go away. Well, welcome back from the break. This is still the JoyNews Prime. In Agbogbloshie, traders combine efforts to tidy up the market instead of relying solely on government assistance to deal with the incessant filth menace. Evidently, after a rainy Wednesday morning, the market area was clean, yet choked gutters remain a concern. Sweetie Abochi brings you today's episode of Filth Exhibition from Agbogbloshie, highlighting the traders' proactive efforts and the work that remain.
This is Agbogbloshie. It's just about 5 hours after a heavy rainfall, and we came to the market to assess the sanitation situation in Agbogbloshie. But upon entering the market, we realized that the market looked clean. For a second there, we thought that the impact of our JoyNews series Filth Exhibition perhaps had to cost our leaders to clean up the city a little bit. So we went out to ask the market women what really accounts for the cleanliness we see. Now is a market woman here in Agbogbloshie. Why is the town clean today?
Today because of the rain, that's why. And Wednesday no market. But tomorrow, Thursday, we have Agbogbloshie market here. Okay. The cabbage peoples and all the peoples will come on this area. But today, no market.
But who cleans the market? What was the last time you saw AMA, Zoom Lion, anybody? Do they come and clean here?
Yes, AMA peoples. When? They used to come here on once in the while, month. Actually, first time when the rain is falling, you will see this side is not nice. But because of a dome coastal, okay, They come and do some coastal here. That's why they make us clean. They make this place clean.
So the people, they are Doom Coastal people. They are the ones who clean up the market.
And the market woman too. We gather and pay 70 each. We the sellers here, we gather to pay 70. And I don't propose to help us to do it.
So you clean the markets yourselves and not the AMA who comes to clean the market?
No, not the AMA.
So just a few meters from where Nas spoke to us, let's now engage Kenneth.
In this area, for instance, we have these Radiadum Coastal. They are the ones who actually wanting to sell their wares here. So they came to put some sand and some gravels and all those things. And now today, our market is looking very good. At the moment, it's not our intention to say the market looks good. It's not that bad anyway, because for their sake, today our market looks very good. As to the cleanup exercise, normally what happens is we normally do it periodically. It could happen on Saturday, it could happen on Monday, or any day it falls. And we engage the AMA because they will see to it that we do that until 10 o'clock before we all resume work. That is when the cleanup exercise is ongoing. You know, the market is meant for us and we are in it. So definitely we have to make sure we put our hands together and join our hands together before we could do anything here. You understand what I'm saying?
As a cleanup exercise, is it just surface? Because although it looks on the surface like the market is clean, a deeper look, like into the gutter where we are standing, reveals lots of filth still. Who's responsible for taking care of this?
There are some issues that need to be addressed, like the gutters. Our gutters need to be covered, you understand? And moreover, if they are not, the reason is if they are not covered, a lot of filth enter. You know, rubbers all over, pure water rubber, and a whole lot. People are throwing Maggi rubbers everywhere. And you can see even cabbage. They are even peeling off cabbage and all that. Anything could enter the gutter when it's not covered. And the AMA is also not supporting. Because people are using pallets. That's why I said it boils down to market centers. There should be a market center where everybody could sit. There should be lots where everybody could sit so that they will leave the road to be free, so that the gutters can be free. That's what it is. But if that thing is not happening, then there's no way our gutters will be free.
Regardless of how it looks on the surface, a second look at the gutters where the market women sit on the roads reveal that the gutters are choked and there's still more work to be done. So we caught up with the queen mother of the market, Mabel, and this is what she had to say.
Dear Magata, I have food staff. I only did be because last week, my director, Antimasi Baha, my neighbor Gata, me and I mean, can't say any boys no more. You got no because I am a quan about got them. Yes, we bet to me. Markets no.
Is it a case that every month AMA actually comes to clean the markets for you?
And yet every month, we got them. So yeah, you market. So you penny from so yes, we are. It was 3 days today. Any on my meeting. Say where you got them. December 2, and I just say where you are. Friday where you got them.
It appears these traders have taken it upon themselves to clean their environment because government is not really helping the situation. How do we move forward from the sanitation crisis? Maybe you have the answers. For Joy News, I'm Sweetie Habochi.
Two other stories. In an unprecedented move, a certain Chief Justice has been facing journalists answering questions, and specifically why she accepted a request to expedite a case against the approval of ministers. The Chief Justice came under a barrage of criticism, mainly from the NDC, who accused her of giving cases affecting the ruling MPP government a preferential treatment. But an engagement with journalists earlier today, the Chief Justice explained that the Attorney General's request for a speedy hearing was granted because the Dafiamapo case had major implications for the running of the government.
The opposition NDC had taken on the Chief Justice for what they call her alignment with the governing New Patriotic Party in the scheduling of those cases. But the Chief Justice has now been offering some explanation as to why she had to conduct the case the way she did. And she's also been justifying the new court scheduling system that she has introduced as Chief Justice.
As soon as the case was filed, the Attorney General filed his response. He filed his affidavit in opposition. So the case was ripe for hearing. We were going to go on Easter break, and the Attorney General wrote and said, this is a matter of governance. So could the court issue hearing notice for the case to be heard? And the court was going to sit on the Wednesday. And so hearing notices were issued. Now, if you have been going to the Supreme Court covering proceedings, you'll discover that we hardly adjourn cases now because of this. It's working well. By the time we sit, virtually every process that has been fixed for a date, for that day, will be dealt with.
But away from these controversial matters, the Chief Justice has been offering some insight as to what exactly led her to introduce the shift system in the courts. She says, so far so good. The shift system she introduced in about 6 to 8 courts on a pilot basis is working really well.
I've discovered that there are courts where there are as many as 600 cases. There are courts where there are as many as 1,000 cases. Then there are courts where there are as few as 30-something cases. So those judges with 30-something cases are hardly doing any work. In Adenta, for instance, one high court judge has as many as 550 cases. One has 600 cases. Surely she cannot work effectively. The same for Amasaman, the same for, in fact, Tema has very high cases. Labadi, very high cases. Teshi, very high cases. And so it's become necessary to see how to relieve the load in those courts. And that is what necessitated the afternoon shift courts.
It appears the Chief Justice has now adopted a completely different modus operandi compared to what her predecessors used to do.
It is an articulation of my vision and how I believe, the steps I believe can assist all of us to bring the justice that we want to the people of Ghana. And you may say, why do I need all of you? Why do I need everybody to join me? The Constitution articulates it properly, which is that justice emanates from the people of Ghana. So justice is actually a product that comes out of the people of Ghana, which is that law is made by the people of Ghana. It is only administered by the judiciary.
She now speaks to the journalists regularly and answers questions not on live cases, but on her administrative role as head of the judiciary. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante.
Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana has commissioned 15 transformer injections in the Ashanti West region as part of efforts to improve power supply to its customers. The completion of this project comes after the power distribution company identified some 630 transformers that were reaching full capacity across the country, with 46 of them in the Ashanti West region. Nanabuachi Yadom reports.
The power distributor intensified day and night transformer inspection to check the integrity of existing transformers and pick load readings as part of efforts to improve power supply. The commissioned transformers, which included upgrading of some lines and transformers that had reached full capacity, are located in towns across the Ahinsan, Ibuakwa, Bibieni, Swami and Ofinso district of ECG's Ashanti West region. According to the ECG Ashanti West PRO Benjamin Entry, the company intends to mitigate power cuts across the country.
So as we speak, with these 15 projects that we have commissioned, customers will experience improved power supply such that the issues of low voltage will be solved by these transformers, face off issues as well. So customers within the enclave that we've commissioned, the 15 transformers, will experience an improved power supply. So, and this is not just the only project that we are doing. As we speak, we are putting up a substation at Agogo to improve the power supply to the area. This will help us take care of the increasing demand. More businesses are coming on board, so we are also expanding our network to take care of the increasing demand. Then again, also recently, we handed over site to a contractor at Ayumfuri to start a primary substation project over there as well. Also, we are upgrading some of our lines from single phase to 3-phase as well, and then we're also constructing more distribution lines to take care of the increasing demand. As a company, we exist to provide stable power supply, or should I say quality, reliable and safe electricity services. In order for us to achieve this mission, commissioning these transformers is a step in the right direction.
Mr. Renchi says the transformers at these locations were reaching full capacity, which resulted in occasional localized outages, demanding the ECG's swift intervention.
You would recall that as a company, we embarked on what we call the transformer inspection exercise, where we went throughout picking the load readings on all our transformers. And then we identified that some transformers were reaching its capacity, with about 46 of them in Ashanti West region. So once we identified that the transformers were reaching its full capacity, if we don't put measures in place to upgrade a transformer or carry out an injection, customers might begin to experience one or two challenges. So we set out to upgrade most of the transformers or carry out an injection on them. So as we speak, we have committed 15 transformers. Some can be found at Achanse Market, Dompoase, Wood Village, in our Offensive District, in our Kokobin District as well. And these transformers, prior to the completion of these projects, some of our customers complain of low voltage, which was a result of the transformer getting to its full capacity as well. Others were also having a challenge of power fluctuations and then face off issues. So what we decided to do is transformers that were around 200 kVA, we increased it to 500 kVA. 315 was also increased to 500 kVA. In areas whereby we had 100 kVA transformers, we brought additional 100 kVA transformers on site just to take care of the increased demand within the localities that I mentioned as well.
Power consumers have been advised to desist from illegal meter transfers and connections. For Joy News, Nana Boache Dankwe Komase.
This is JoyNews Prime. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we're up with showbiz with Becky Becks. Do stay.